Good morning and welcome to First Local Mornings. It is Thursday, October the 14th. See, I can even give you the date without looking at a prompt. I think that's stellar because as it happens, sometimes I don't fully wake up until I'm already off the show and halfway to my kids to get them to school. So, yeah, so you know what? We're going to jump into some local stuff. There were two collisions that I want to talk to you about that did take place yesterday. So we'll talk about the first one, which occurred at around 10:30 yesterday morning when fire services did respond to reports of a vehicle fire in the north end of the city. So two pumpers that were available responded to the area approximately 300 meters of second line on Old Garden River Road. Upon arrival, they did find a gray pickup truck that was fully engulfed in flames. Obviously, our firefighters did work diligently to extinguish the flames, had the fire under control in minutes. And while they were attending to this, of course, the roadway was closed in both directions. Now, partway through this call, actually, they received another call, and so one pumper did depart as it was under control. Now, the other incident, which required one of the pumpers to depart, ended up being in relation to the fire that was reported yesterday morning, which I will get to in a moment. But however, it wasn't, their services weren't actually even required there. So back to the initial collision, fire services did remain on scene for approximately 1 hour waiting for a tow truck, and correspondingly traffic was slowed in both directions while this incident played out. Now, just prior to that, at 9:40 a.m., Sault Fire Services, as well as Sault Police Services and paramedics, were notified of a collision that did take place in the city's east end. When they arrived in the 1200 block of Trunk Road, roughly right in front of the Husky, they did encounter a cement truck and an SUV which had collided. So according to a witness who works at the Husky, the SUV did pull out into traffic, did experience impact by an eastbound cement truck. Wow, that's not something you want to experience impact with for sure. So the driver of the SUV was taken to hospital after having been extricated from the car by Sault Fire Services. In this moment, we haven't any sort of information relating to any injuries. So traffic on Trunk Road was being diverted through the gas station property until the incident could be cleaned up. Whew. Well, it has been said that, lots of rain is just a means of cleaning the earth in preparation for winter. So why don't we flip on over to Craig and see how much more cleaning we have to experience.
Well, unfortunately, we do have some more cleaning coming in for this weekend, just in time for the weekend. But today, though, let's talk about temperatures. I mean, it is 17 degrees already right now. We're mid-October. Our temperatures today soaring up to only 20 degrees today for most of our day today. It's going to feel like another warm, muggy day. We'll take a look at the radar and show you that we do have a system that we're watching. It's a very potent low pressure system that's out to our west, but this is the cold front or actually the warm front first, and then a cold front coming through later on tonight. So today, we're going to see a surge of wind and warm air from the southwest actually. Winds are going to be around 40 kilometers an hour sometime this afternoon. That's in advance of that cold front, which is going to cut our temperatures back down to seasonal values for the weekend. So let's take a look at your 12-hour forecasts for today. We're hoping to see a little bit of sun before those clouds thicken up later on this afternoon. We have small scattered showers in the area, so I can't rule out that some spots will see some precipitation today. But the big news is the temperatures. The temperatures are going to be very warm, 19, 20 degrees for mid-October. That is a bonus, so let's enjoy that. I'll have your complete 3-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Right now, we're sending right back to Heidi for more local news.
Well, thank you very much, Craig. I guess it's nice that the weather is still going to remain temperate, so the rain will remain rainy and not snowy. It's too soon for the snow. Okay, so there was an important announcement, revelation, some of what many people have been eagerly anticipating, although it does come with some caveats. So, U.S. government did announce that after weeks of speculations, they are getting ready to start welcoming visitors from Canada and Mexico. So on either side, they will be reopening the land border crossings. The Biden administration has said that it will be reopening these ports of entry to non-essential travel next month, ending what has been a 19-month freeze because of the pandemic. So this news originally was shared by U.S. Congressman Brian Higgins in a statement on Twitter, because it doesn't get much more official than that, but then was later confirmed by the Secretary of Homeland Security. You know, and in the statement, they did acknowledge how businesses have been suffering, particularly businesses, you know, in and around the border towns. Sioux, Michigan, for example, you know, in those businesses, they have come to depend on a certain amount of travel from Canada. And they're, you know, this is posted to the website. I posted it. There are many quotes from businesses who have indicated how their business has been negatively impacted by the lack of traffic coming in from Canada to support purchase and their business in general. So now, in the first stage of loosening these restrictions, individuals who are fully vaccinated will be allowed to cross the border for non-essential reasons. So essential workers, including truckers, students, and healthcare workers, will have until January of 2022 before they must also be fully vaccinated to cross the border. Now, what's interesting, and Mike and I were talking about that this morning, it's been stated that proof of vaccination will be required, which is becoming a standard thing in many different ways. What has been confirmed through the CDC this week is that vaccines approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration as well as the World Health Organization will be accepted. However, we have to remember that there are some individuals now who have a mixture of vaccinations. You know, for example, some might have one shot of AstraZeneca plus a shot of Moderna. Okay, so what hasn't been clarified is whether or not this will be accepted as full vaccination for travel purposes. So we're waiting to get more information on that. Further, unlike air travel, for which proof of a negative COVID-19 test is required before boarding a flight to enter the U.S., no testing will be required to enter the U.S. by land or sea, provided that the travelers meet vaccination requirements. And again, this is coming from Higgins, no longer on Twitter, now in a press conference this past Wednesday. Now, further to that, in this moment, it's my understanding that travelers who would be coming back to Canada from the U.S. will need to obtain at their own expense testing, COVID testing. And Mike, you were saying it can run anywhere from $50 to $75, yes?
Or more, I'm not sure.
Could be more, yeah. So we are following that as well. Higgins is lobbying for these tests to be taken off the table, because obviously if people, Canadians in particular, are going to the U.S. to save some money, you know, for shopping purposes, for whatever reason they want to cross, this could become prohibitive in nature if they have to be out of pocket for a COVID test when they do come back. So there will be more information as this comes available. I will be posting regularly to the website and bringing you what is relevant on the show. Okay, we're going to take a break at this point and hop on into our sponsor world, where we have the support of many businesses eagerly anticipating the onboarding of still more support from our community. So in the meantime, fill your cup and come on back.
First Local, supported by the Canadian Bush Plain Heritage Centre, where adventure takes off. First Local, supported by Gary Chervinsky, Exit Realty, Lake Superior. Buying a home is a big decision, so is choosing the right agent. Call Gary Chervinsky, broker at Exit Realty, Lake Superior, 705-257-5432.
When I found out I had cancer, it was the hardest day of my life. But life is bigger than cancer.
First Local, supported by United Way. Help make your community a better place. Show your local love and donate today. Good morning and welcome back. Thanks again to our sponsors who do put forward support for our programming. I'll talk to you for a moment about what I've been watching lately. Seinfeld, not a new show, definitely not, but certainly a welcome return to my screen. It is streaming, for those of you who don't know, on Netflix, so I encourage you to go and watch that, because you know what, especially in troubling times when there is all manner of change that requires management in an ongoing capacity, there's nothing more entertaining than to watch these four very gifted actors and their surrounding team of support actors bring you daily programming with regards to nothing, right? Because that's what it's billed to be, the show about nothing. Okay. Now let's talk about something. On October 12th, officers with patrol services did charge 40-year-old Loretta Carey with aggravated assault. Around 9:45 a.m., officers responded to calls of someone assaulting a victim with a golf club in the 0 to 100 block of Albert Street East. Now, upon arrival, officers found the victim to be suffering from serious injuries. Well, sure, a golf club is a serious weapon. EMS also responded, and the victim was transported correspondingly to the hospital. The investigation revealed that the victim and the accused are not known to each other, and the assault is believed to have been unprovoked. So around 1:36 p.m., officers observed a woman matching the description of the assailant and identified her as the accused. She was arrested and charged with aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. She was held for bail court and remanded into custody. She is scheduled to appear in court on October the 14th. Loretta Carey. Okay. I'm going to update you with regards to the good work that the good people at the Indian Friendship Center are doing. They're updating, they've been hosting weekly COVID-19 vaccination clinics, previously held on Wednesdays, now switching to Fridays. So they will be continuing to host these vaccination clinics every Friday for as long as there is a need within the community. They would like to remind everybody that these clinics are open to all people, both Indigenous as well as non-Indigenous, who will be at least 12 years and older before the end of 2021. They would like to further remind everybody they do have Moderna and Pfizer available. These clinics are being held at their center at 122 East Street. Walk-ins, Kim, I'm thinking of you. Walk-ins are welcome, but booked appointments are appreciated just to ensure that they have sufficient supply of vaccination on hand. Hours are 10:30 to 4 p.m. every Friday. Please call 705-542-5382 to book an appointment. Okay, so we've got that and that. Now, we do have a local comedian. He's billing himself as an amateur comedian, but I've heard of this gentleman, and he is quite funny. This is one Ben Albert, who is looking to test the waters with an open mic evening this Friday at Tassie's Cafe. So, you know, as it happens, this is coming at the urging of some of his friends and family who have encouraged him to pursue his sense of humor. And so, because of that, Ben had started looking for venues who featured open mic events in and around Northern Ontario, only to discover that in this moment there aren't any. So when time permitted, he did find himself, flipping back and forth to Southern Ontario, where he was able to get his feet wet in front of an audience, and he became hooked. He really enjoys it. So he is looking to attract other fellow amateur comedians for both this as well as future events. So if you or someone you know would like to try out stand-up comedy, you are encouraged to text or call Ben at 705-849-5584 to get on the set list or to simply sign up upon arrival. So again, Tassie's Cafe this Friday. Doors will open at 8:30, and Tassie's, of course, being located at 478 Queen Street East. The event, the open mic, will start at 9 p.m. Okay, so if you want to support a local initiative, swing by for a bevy and a few giggles. Right on, Ben Albert. Okay, we have been following, from the funny to the not so funny, we have been following the ongoing situation with regards to the hiring of the Sioux Fire Services Chief, Peter Johnson's son, Ethan, of course, being the most recent hire to the department. There has been a lot of concerns with regards to the perception of nepotism. We have reported neutrally just the facts as they have been presented, and individuals who are connected with the fire service, who are connected with fire services as a sector in general, continue to reach out to us. So as per our commitment to our readers and our viewers, we do continue to provide the information such as it becomes available. Again, significant concerns are being brought forward by people connected to the sector as well as people who have applied in the past. So yeah, we will continue to monitor this situation. In the interim, an update has been posted to our website. It is robust and full of information on both sides of the fence, as well significant concerns as to how this is playing out in an international capacity, because it is being monitored outside of the Sioux. So if this is a story that is something you would like to know more about and you are following, please do go to our website at SiouxOnline.com and have a look. You are welcome to share your opinion. Many, many have, as you can imagine, and we will continue to provide you with the neutral coverage that you have come to count on us to provide. All right. So, from fire services being scrutinized in the international community, we will come back to local. On October 12th, officers with patrol services charged 28-year-old Shayna Nadjawan with dangerous operation. This happened around 3:55 p.m. when officers observed a vehicle stopped at a stop sign on Shannon Road, matching earlier complaints of a vehicle driving erratically in the McNabb Street and the Black Road area. Officers observed a woman in the driver's seat and a man in the passenger seat. Excuse me. Officers were able to confirm it was the same vehicle from earlier complaints and attempted to initiate a traffic stop by activating emergency lights. So at this time, the vehicle increased speed and fled the area in an aggressive manner, driving erratically, turning westbound onto McDonald Avenue. Officers pulled over and did not pursue but continued to observe the vehicle driving erratically westbound on McDonald Avenue. Around 4 p.m., officers were notified of a single vehicle collision at the corner of Lake Street and Creary Avenue. Officers attended a short time later and observed a blue SUV which had rolled over. Officers identified the vehicle as the same blue SUV they had encountered earlier. They were able to identify the driver as the accused, and the investigation has determined she is a suspended driver and has no driver's license. So she was arrested, charged with dangerous operation and flight from peace officer, also charged with drive while under suspension and drive motor vehicle without license under the Highway Traffic Act. Released by way of an appearance notice and scheduled to appear in court on November 29th. Mike, I do believe I heard your voice whispering softly in my ear. It is time for us to go back in and acknowledge our sponsors. So, you know what? Support your local community. Take a listen. They may have some services that you're in need of. I will be here when you come back.
First Local, supported by Rick Mooney, sales representative for Street City Realty. Sold, the sign you want, Rick, the realtor you need.
Every day, people in crisis need someone to answer their call for help, to let them know they're not alone. Whenever people need someone, the Canadian Red Cross is there, on the phone lines and the front lines, around the world and here at home. But none of it would be possible without people just like you. No matter who you are, you have something to give. You can be that someone with the Canadian Red Cross. Learn more at redcross.ca/someone.
First Local, supported by Tammy Ovey. Are you looking for an agent who confidently knows the culture and community of Sault Ste. Marie? Call Tammy Ovey, 705-971-0171.
Rollers Bocce is now open, located downstairs at the Marconi. If you're new to bocce or love the game, Rollers is the place for you. Grab your friends and family and let the good times roll. Book your court today at rollersbocce.ca.
2, 1.
Space, the final frontier. William Shatner going where no 90-year-old has ever gone before. Yeah, so for those of you who didn't know, yesterday William Shatner did blast off into space in a spaceship. And, you know, to the delight of fans everywhere, taking Captain Kirk into reality. So this, yeah, convergence of science fiction and science reality reaching the final frontier aboard a ship built by Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin company. So the Star Trek hero and 3 fellow travelers soared to an estimated 66 miles, which is the equivalent of 106 kilometers, over the West Texas desert in the fully automated capsule, and then safely parachuted to the desert floor in a flight that lasted just over 10 minutes. So this makes Shatner now the oldest person in space, eclipsing the previous record set by a passenger on a similar jaunt on a Bezos spaceship in July by 8 years. Shatner is quoted as saying that was unlike anything that has been described. You know, and you have to understand that in this moment I'm fighting hard to not read this as we have come to know him to present his dialogue. So yeah, so congratulations to William Shatner on this, I guess, achievement, this event, this significant milestone. Anyway, other events that we may want to know about include information about this upcoming weekend, because Craig did suggest it was going to be soggy. Craig, say it isn't so.
Thanks very much, Heidi. And we are seeing a day of warmth for the last time before we see the effects of a cold front coming through, and that's this cold front right here. It's kind of brewing up. We could start to see some scattered showers later on this afternoon from this, but for the most part, we're going to actually stay clear of most of this heavy rain. That's going to kind of push up this way, so we're just going to have the tail end of that cold front coming through. It is going to drop our temperatures, and also just before that cold front moves through, we're going to see our winds pick up from the southwest, pushing in some Warmer air for our day today. Mostly just cloudy conditions today. We are going to see a few peaks of sun hopefully this morning before we start seeing just some scattered showers roll in for later on this afternoon. And even that is not going to be all that heavy at this point. As far as temperatures go, this is our last day of 20-degree temperatures for the Sioux, 17 in Wawa, 19 in Timmins, and also 18 degrees in Sudbury. Those temperatures are on the way down as that cold front kind of pushes through. But it's not going to be super cold. It's just going to bring us right down to where we should be at this time of year. As far as our systems map for today, this is how we draw it for you. So here's that low pressure system and that cold front. So we're going to see that warmth of a push from southwesterly air for today, and then this cold front is going to slide right through later on tonight into our day Friday, dropping our temperatures to about 10 to 13 degrees, where we should be at this time of year. Let's take a look at your 3-day forecast for today. We're going to hope to see some sun at some point today, either this morning or into the afternoon, before we start seeing the clouds kind of roll in and giving us those spotty showers. Temperatures as far as your evening goes should be fairly mild before we see that cold front push through, and those winds are going to stay with us from the southwest into our evening. For your day on Friday, 13 degrees, some rain showers, but then we're going to see some clearing for most of the day for later on into Friday, and then we see another system kind of roll in for Saturday. Kind of cool though at 10 degrees. So yeah, it looks like our summer type weather has come to an end, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel because we do have some warmer air coming in for next week. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that for you. That is your weather right now. We're going to send it right back to Heidi.
Well, thanks, Craig. That's all I'm going to say about that because I don't really have a lot of time to say much more. I'm going to tell you that there is one new confirmed case of COVID-19 that came through yesterday here in the Sioux and area. I will tell you that the status is my favorite, unknown, and they are currently self-isolating. Quick factoid before I hop over into social media. I want to talk to you about Def Leppard. Def Leppard on this date in 1988 did become the first act in chart history to sell 7 million copies of 2 consecutive LPs, Pyromania, which was their 3rd studio album released in 1983, and Hysteria, which did become the band's best-selling album to date, selling over 20 million copies worldwide and spawning 6 hit singles. What's significant about Def Leppard is this achievement came 4 years after the band's drummer, John Cyril Allen, overcame the amputation of his left arm and then continued to play with the band. The band did suspend their practices in time for him to learn how to use the assistive devices that would become part of his drum kit. So this gentleman is now known as the Thunder Gods by his fans and is ranked number 7 on the UK website GigWise as one of the greatest drummers of all times. Social media. Steve Childs beating everybody to the punch. Good morning all. Have a great baby Friday to you as well, Steve. Not rocking the horns today, but I bet you will tomorrow. Merci beaucoup. Happy baby Friday from us in London. I hope it's going well for you. Merci. Continue to send you healing energy. Destiny Kerr, good morning everyone. Good morning to you, Destiny. Jeffrey Tremblay with 3 dots. Well, ... ellipsis right back to you, sir. Enika, good morning all with 3 exclamation points. Bradley, good morning with 3 exclamation points. Happy baby Friday, peace sign. Bradley, fun fact, did you know if the entire world's population held hands around the equator, that a significant portion of them would drown? Yes. Kimberly says, good morning all, good morning. And then Chris Bridges, good morning everyone, happy baby Friday, be kind to each other and do what makes you happy. Yes. And rounding out with a shout out from North Bay, Linda Gloria Goulet, good morning from North Bay. Have a wonderful day, friends. You have a wonderful day. All of you have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow as we salute the weekend properly. Have a good one. Oh, you can stop now. I'm done.